meeting.
Yeah, actually, when I saw the,
Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order.
Ag meeting.
Ag meeting to order. A little rusty, a couple weeks off. Kathy, would you call roll, please?
Lee,
Here.
Powell,
here,
Barstow.
Here. Stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. We'll start with Scott.
Thank you, sir. We have one application for Agricultural Production District. The owner is Helen Pack, located at 3629 Summit Road. This is comprised of two properties. One is 5 acres, one is 14.25, for a total of 19.25 acres. The property is enrolled within CAUV, therefore the auditor's review is accepted as a verification for eligibility in the protection district. Property zoned at R87, as is to the northeast and west, south is rural residential. Future land use map designates this property for agriculture, as are all the surrounding properties. Staff has no objections to this application.
Okay. I guess then I'd like to ask for a motion to recommend approval.
so moved. Second.
Barstow,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Since that is our only one for tonight, Scott, I know we'd made mention maybe a month ago, we talked, we put out a map for the discharge. I didn't know why we had, I don't know, 5 minutes here, if you wanted to kind of hash that out a little bit. If I know you were kind of waiting on direction from us. I know that when I looked at the map, there was one area that's close to where I live, and I wanted to reach out to not the landowner, but the person that owns the land around it. I don't see any issue with it. I just wanted to pay him that courtesy. I have not got to that yet. I ran into him at the hardware and told him I'd be over to talk, but being on vacation, I haven't got there. So I didn't know if Mr. Barstow, you had any thoughts on it, or Mr. Powell?
No, I mean, we do need to review it, because I know we've got some areas that were in the zone. I think down at Sugar Mill, I think, is one that I think
I
of.
thought we fixed that.
Well, that's why we need to.
Yeah. Did we not fix that one? Just refresh.
Yeah, we
Last
did-
year.
We did fix the issue in Sugar Mill, but as
Yeah.
part of that, when we looked at Sugar Mill, there are other areas, because typically kind of the policy has been if it's in a platted subdivision or it's a park, it's removed from the discharge zone. So we kind of did homework that if this is in Sugar Mill, where are some other ones that maybe there was an error in some of the platted subdivisions where we do have properties in the discharge zone. So I think the draft, and I forget when we handed that out, I'd be happy to send it out again. It basically goes through and corrects some of those issues of platted lots being in the discharge zone in the middle of subdivision. So
Okay.
that was just the crux of the proposed amendment.
Okay. So, would you please send that back out again? I'm sure I have it somewhere. We'll take the time between now and whenever the next meeting is, go over it, and we'll plan on discussing that at the next meeting.
Okay.
You think that's okay, Todd?
Yeah, I think we
Mike?
need to review it. Yeah, we need to review it.
Yeah. BJ?
Hey Kathy, do you anticipate having any other ag applications come in?
not at this time, but
What I would
it can
rec-
happen anytime.
I would recommend that Scott send it out and we get a ag committee meeting scheduled
Right.
and not wait necessarily for an ag district so we can get the discharge zone reviewed and to council for adoption.
Okay. Let's see. I believe, and I'm just thinking out loud, the conflict that I have with the next council meeting for my work would be the second meeting in July. Todd, Mike, and BJ, any of you chime in here. Do you think between now and the next meeting would be enough time to review it? And
Tom, you know we moved the meetings.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, I'd accounted for the,
Okay, I didn't know if you,
I accounted for the holiday.
10th to 24th now.
The
Okay.
24th, I'm trying to get the night off, but
Okay.
right now I work that night.
Okay.
But I know that I'll be here the first meeting in July. Do you think that's enough time to review, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can send that back out, and then basically once, I guess from my perspective, procedurally, once I get the okay that this looks good, I'll get the legislation drafted up, down to Kathy, get all those boxes checked, and we can move forward with the amendment.
Okay. Kathy, anything scheduled?
Yes, on the 10th, we have a utility committee meeting scheduled for 5:30.
5:30. And how long do those typically?
I'll defer to Mr.
You think we
Hicken.
can fit one in there about 6:30? Is that enough time?
Talk for more. The reason I'm looking at Mr. King is I'm trying to go through the agenda in my brain, and
Same here.
Is it going to be more than an hour?
I think doing the ag, what else do we have that night, Kathy? I know we just went through this
Just our
exercise.
council meeting that night.
Do you think you could
Could
do
we
ag
do
at 6:40?
6:45 or 6:45 ag?
I have no problem with that if we think we can get through the map that quick. Scott, do you think that we can cover it that quick?
I'm pretty comfortable that if you have time in advance to review it, and like I mentioned, it's pretty standard. This is in a subdivision, it's taken out of the discharge zone is what's proposed. I don't think there should be too much discussion on it, because it's pretty cut and dry, so I think 6:45 is definitely enough time.
And if we find things, then we can not move on it and do it at a later time. So let's go 6:45. Is that good for you, Todd? Mike? Okay.
Great.
Yep, that's good.
I'll make. Nobody has anything else. Make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Barstow,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
And we'll jump right in here to our public hearing.